Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Love Yourself to Health podcast. My name is Alyssa, and I'll be here each week teaching you how to build a body that you genuinely love. As women, we have been taught so much misinformation about what our bodies should look like, how we should eat, and how we should work out. And I'm here to dispel all the myths and to teach you how to feel better, eat more without gaining weight, and to build a toned, lean, feminine physique, all without dieting, endless hours of cardio, or beating yourself up for getting off track. Here, we're all about treating our bodies with love and respect, and of course, having fun along the way. So I can't believe we're already at the final bonus training of this. Like, it's gone by so fast.
I know, crazy fast, hey?
Yeah, it's nuts. So if you guys are tuning in here, it's the final day of the bonus training. So go catch up on all of the other ones that we've done. They're all in here, wherever you're listening. All of the bonus trainings are up. But I just wanted to remind you that if you are wanting more, if you're wanting to learn more about this stuff and actually get some worksheets and get some coaching and like really dive deep into this stuff, you need to make sure you're signed up for our actual boot camp happening on Monday. So this was just kind of ramping it up, getting excited for it, you know, kind of getting you like the basics of what you need to going in. And then on Monday, we actually start the boot camp live. So every day we'll be doing live trainings at 12 p.m. PST. And then we'll have some worksheets. Then you'll do some homework. And then you'll get to be coached on your homework by us. There's going to be some prizes. Basically, if you show up every single day of the boot camp, do the homework, all of that stuff, you don't have to come on live, by the way, we're recording everything. But if you show up every day, you're going to get $150 worth of course content. So all of my courses in Transformation Academy, you'll get access to one of the modules in there. So nutrition, mindset, and program design. And you will also be entered to win the grand prize. So $750 worth of coaching split between me and Ariya. You basically get a month of coaching free. You get 2 weeks in Transformation Academy. You get access to course content and so much stuff. So if you're not in yet, go follow the links. They are everywhere. They're under the description here. They're in our bios. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. They're on the podcast. It's everywhere. So get yourself in, and we will see you Monday when we officially start. And without further ado, let's get into today's training.
Perfect. Okay, so today we are going to talk about how confidence will help you reach your goals. So basically, I think people think that you need confidence in order to take action in order to reach your goals, but that's actually like so backwards, right? You have to take action first to prove to yourself that you can do the thing, to build the confidence, to see the results. So I think you have like starting from a point of like having those beliefs that are going to help you get to your goals, like the belief that I am capable, I'm worthy, right? So you need to embody that confidence before you actually are able to reach your goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I was thinking about this and I was like, it feels like a cycle.
Absolutely.
And people see it from the outside and they're like, it's like jump rope, like doing double dutch or whatever. And they're like, how do I jump in there and just get started? Yeah. And you just find the point that's going to be the easiest point to start from. And that's going to be like the taking action part. Yeah. Because it is going to be a continuous cycle. Like you need to take action to see the confidence, to feel the belief in yourself, to then have the confidence to do the things. And then when you do more of the things and you get more confidence and more belief, and then you can do more things, right? Like it totally is a cycle, but it just keeps building as you do more.
Yeah. But if you're just waiting on that confidence or that motivation to get going, to get started, you're never going to get started, right? And I think that's a lot of reason why people don't start the thing. They don't even get to that beginning point is because they're waiting on this. Because we've kind of glamorized how confidence and motivation like comes about. That it's this very easy thing that if you just stick your mind to it, you'll be that person. And it's just not the case, right? It requires a little bit more work than that, which is fun because then you get to know yourself a little bit more too, right?
Yeah. And I feel like it's that kind of a thing where it's like, I need to be ready to start, or I need to do all of the research to start, or I need to feel this type of way to start, or like we come up with like this huge long list of like, I can't start working towards this goal until I have all of these things done. And that's not true. And you're just going to keep prolonging these results because you keep thinking you have to do all of these different things before you get started.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're going to go through a lot of stuff, but the most important thing is that you just start something.
Yeah.
Right. And once you get started,
Mm-hmm.
then you're going to start building up that confidence in yourself and you're going to start building that momentum and you can slowly start adding in more and more things as you go.
Mm-hmm. And I think like that touches on a really important thing. Like, I think people try to put on too much on them at the very beginning. Yes. And then it like reinforces that belief, like, see, I can't do the thing, right? But that's because they're like adding on too many layers like right off the bat. So like pick one thing, like even if that's making your bed every single morning, right? You know, you can show up for that. You can make your bed. Cool. You know that you can do that one thing. Now start adding on to that, right? So it doesn't need to be this big elaborate thing. Like it can be so simple.
Totally. And again, it's going to be different for every person too. As with everything here, like you will know that one thing that's pretty easy for you to do and can like start building up that confidence there. So if you were to kind of like lay out what you need to do in order to start building confidence, what do you think is either the biggest thing or like some of the steps that you can do to start working on that?
Okay, for me personally, I start each day with something that's either going to make me feel good, that I enjoy, or that's going to make me feel like accomplished or successful. I start each day with that before I do anything else, because that really sets the tone for the rest of the day. So whether that be like 10 minutes of meditation, like guided meditation in the morning, or cleaning up my kitchen in the morning, like those things make me feel good right off the bat. And I feel like I can just like build off of that momentum. So for me, like that's the number one thing, starting off your day with something that's going to build that momentum. And end of your day kind of thing, like reflect on your wins, right? Like sit back in your bed and just think, okay, I got this and this done. Like that made me feel really good. I responded to that person's text message. Like I'm showing up in a social sense, like all of these things. So there's something you can do at the beginning and the end of the day to really like go full circle.
Yeah. And I think like we get so stuck on focusing on what we didn't do well. And when you're in that mindset, obviously you're not going to be really motivated or driven to do the things you want to do, to take action, because you're just thinking about how much you haven't done. And then that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and more overwhelming. Whereas if you just pick one tiny small thing, just to like build up a little bit of that momentum, give yourself something that you can do to be proud of yourself for. And then take that focus at the end of the day, every single day, to make sure you're focusing on that. Because every day you can find something that you have done well. Something that you have done better than either what you've been doing or than you have done at certain times in your life. Like there's always going to be something you can reflect on that you have done well today.
And it really like helps with preparing you for the next day. Like if you're ending off your day on a positive note of like reflecting on your wins, or like maybe saying something like that you're grateful for that happened that day that you actually put into motion, that really sets the tone for the next day. Right.
Completely.
So you want,
whatever you're feeling when you go to bed is going to be a lot easier to feel that when you're waking up in the morning.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why it's good. It's also a good idea to have a plan for the next day, but having that in motion the night before, right? Because
totally. Another thing I was thinking about is I feel like we should redefine what confidence means, because I feel like for some people, when they hear confidence, they think of certain types of people. Right? Like there are people who are confident and then there's me. Right? And I think sometimes we think that confidence is like an innate thing, like it's just part of your personality and you're just either a confident person or you're not. So do you have anything to kind of say on that or add to that?
Just that, like, I think it's really important to have an idea, like, who are those people to you, right? Like, who are those really confident people, right? Well, like, what are they doing to show up for themselves to be confident, right? Or like, I think it's important to see what other people are doing, right? Like, see if you can start incorporating that into your day-to-day like life. Because it might be like the simplest thing that they do for themselves every single day that helps them build that confidence, because it doesn't have to, like, it's not like everyone else is being, I think when we're at this age, like, you think being an adult and everything that everyone else is getting done, like, you're constantly comparing yourself in a negative way. Like, you're seeing everything that they've accomplished, comparing it against yourself. Well, instead of looking at their accomplishments and comparing those accomplishments, compare those behaviors or those action steps. Like, see what they're doing and see how you can also do that, instead of just focusing on the results, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because I think one thing that often happens is we assume people are confident because of their results, because they look a certain way. Like, so many times people think like, oh, she's pretty, so she must be confident.
Yeah.
And honestly, most of the times that's not true. Or, oh, she's skinny or fit or whatever, so she must be confident. That's not necessarily true. And people can look whatever way. People can have whatever results in their life. People could be living like way worse off than you and have confidence in themselves. Like, the confidence does not come from the results. The confidence comes from how you choose to think about what's going on. And the easiest way to change what you think is to prove things to yourself. So if you want to be confident in your ability to show up going to the gym, if you are not showing up to the gym, you're probably not going to be very confident in your ability to show up to the gym, right? You're proving to yourself that you don't show up to the gym. Whereas if you start taking action and building very small steps to start working towards going to the gym, then you're starting to build up that confidence. Like, okay, maybe I can do this. So maybe you just start going for a walk every day at the time you would want to go to the gym. So you're starting to set aside that time for yourself. And then you can prove to yourself, okay, I can set aside enough time for myself every day. So that's getting me a little bit closer to going to the gym. And then once you've felt pretty confident with that, then you can start driving to the gym, and you don't even have to work out. You can just drive to the gym. You can just walk in, take a walk around, maybe even just walk on the treadmill to something very, very simple. And then you're proving to yourself that you can show up, you can go to the gym, and you've done that, right? And then you keep on slowly building from there. The point is that you're taking action to provide yourself with evidence to prove to yourself that you can actually do the thing. And that is where confidence is going to come from. It's not just because you are already a confident person or you have all these features of a confident person. It's because of the actions that you're taking to prove to yourself, to change what you're thinking about your own confidence.
Yeah. And it all has to do with your definition of what confidence means to you.
Yeah.
So like, that's a really good starting point. Like, what is confidence to you, right? Like, really get clear on that. And then I think it's a little bit easier to build from that. Because like, for me, like, confidence comes from so many different areas. It's not just to one specific area. And I need to feel successful in multiple areas of my life to have that confidence. Like, if I'm showing up, like, if I'm going to the gym, like, if I'm really prioritizing my health and fitness, but then my relationships are starting to like, not like, I'm not nurturing them as much, right? Then I'm not going to feel as confident overall in my ability, like, who I am as a person. So it really depends on like what your definition of confidence even really means to you specifically, right? Because you touch on that a lot. Everything is so individual, right?
Yeah. And like, the more areas of your life that you're building up your confidence in, the more it's going to transfer to other areas.
Absolutely.
So if you like, usually your confidence in how you look is kind of the last thing to build confidence in, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are, working on showing up for yourself at the gym and getting strong at the gym, that's going to start building your confidence in your ability to show up for yourself and
Mm-hmm.
in your like physical strength. So you're starting to have confidence in an aspect of what your body can do.
Mm-hmm.
And then that'll slowly start transferring over to how you see yourself. And then same with your nutrition. Like if you're starting to feel confident in your ability to, nurture your body well, you're going to start, focusing more on the positive aspects of nutrition and less on, how your body looks because of how you're eating and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Mm-hmm.
the more that you build up your confidence there, the more it's going to transfer over into the other areas. And it's basically just like in a line with goals. So you're going to have lots of different goals. And yeah, your confidence, you're going to have lots of different confidence in different areas and it's going to work different ways, but they're all going to start to slowly work together and to slowly transfer over to other areas.
Mm-hmm. And I think like you kind of touched on this is like starting something new. So let's say that you've never gone to the gym before. Like that's never been a goal of yours for whatever reason, right? So you're starting a new thing, okay? So to keep in mind things like perfectionism, right? You're going to fail. You're going to fail lots. And that's a really good opportunity for you to grow. It should not deter you or push you away because you can't expect that when you learn a new skill that you're going to be immediately good at it, right? And that's why lots of people get turned away from trying new things that are going to better themselves because they're not good at it. B, it takes way too long. Like like my experience with like developing my social media account and doing all those things, like it can be so overwhelming how long things can take, right? And that can like really deter you from taking future action on that. So there's so many things that can easily just kill your confidence. But if you're aware of those things, then it's a lot easier to like move like beyond them, right?
Yeah, that is such a good point. Like, I think so many people, when they get into any type of goal that they're working towards, they completely forget about or ignore the fact that you are going to make mistakes, you are going to fail, you're going to come across obstacles. Nobody does it without that, right? You may think they do because you see them like 1, 2, 3, 5 years down the road where it looks like they've been able to do it super, super easy, right? But what you're missing is those times when things went wrong, right? And where they had to change what they were doing, or they had to just like keep pushing through, or or maybe they even did stop for 6 months and then had to get back on track again, right? Those are the times that most people are going to completely fall off and never try again. Even if it's the first time they make a very small mistake, it just completely derails them. So that's another thing is like, that is a huge way to build confidence is that when you do come across these obstacles and you do start making mistakes, when you can prove to yourself that you can keep going, even though you have failed or even though you have made a mistake, that builds so much confidence in yourself because you're
so
like,
good.
I just got past that.
Yeah.
Means when it happens again, I can keep going. Right. And then you're just reinforcing that to yourself. And again, that builds so much confidence. So huge, huge takeaway for anybody. Whenever you're doing any type of goal or plan or big thing that you're working towards, no matter what happens, you can keep going. Don't allow any of those mistakes or failures to set you back because it's bound to happen. It is bound to happen. What matters is that you just keep going.
Yeah,
exactly. The most important thing.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the time, like people focus on like the failures that are coming up, like when that they're counting their failures, right? Let's say you were mostly successful at the gym, but you felt kind of whatever, you felt like everyone was looking at you, or you felt like you did this one thing wrong, and like you're focusing on all those things opposed to just focusing on the fact that you showed up to the gym today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what you focus on expands, and that's what you're going to continue to see. So I think it's just really important to reframe your mind. It's so conscious. It's not going to your brain is not going to do that for you. You have to consciously do that for yourself.
Yeah.
And like, that's almost an act of self-love, really. Right. Like when you're allowing your time allowing your yourself that time to really reflect, but not placing judgment on any of those reflections, I think is really powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like the more you focus on something, the more you're going to see it and the more it's going to show up in your life. So if you're always focused on your failures, that's all you're going to see and all you're going to feel. And that's just not a fun experience in general. So, and it's so funny because you will be able to find as many failures as you keep looking for. And it is the exact same, the opposite. If you're looking for wins and successes, you will see as many as you are looking for, right? If you just look for as many as you can possibly find, you're going to find them. They are always going to be there. And that is going to feel so much better. And you're just going to be able to keep going because you can see all of the little things that you have done that you've done better than before. And it's unfortunate that our brain likes to focus on the failures. So it does need to be a conscious effort. You need to be aware that that happens. And even just being aware of it, and even just like taking that time to start making that flip and to start focusing on the positives, on where you can see the wins happening, that makes such a huge difference.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
It does need to be a conscious effort, and you do need to practice it. And again, you will gain confidence in yourself of your ability to focus on the positives. And the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And the more it'll just become like a more natural part of your existence, basically.
Oh, absolutely. And there's two last things I just want to quickly touch on, and then you can expand on whatever one.
Yeah, of course.
One big thing, surround yourself with like-minded people or positive people. So a quick confidence killer is surrounding yourself with other people who are either stuck or not taking action or whatever. That does not mean drop your friends, but just being aware of the people that you're surrounding yourself with. And if that's really supporting like where you're at right now in your journey. And another really, really, really big thing is stop living in the past, stop fearing the future, and start living in the present. Because you're gonna be way more successful and confident if you're living in the present moment instead of like ruminating on old stuff that happened in the past or old failures, or really fearing how you're going to show up in the future. So two really important things.
That's so big, because I find, especially when you have big goals that you're working towards, if you are just thinking about how far away that goal is, you're just going to be stuck. You're not going to be able to take action towards that goal. But if you instead think about, okay, today, what is one thing I can do today that's going to get me a little bit closer to that goal? Right. And it's always good when you come up with goals to break them down. So when you come up with your goal, it shouldn't just be a goal that is so far in the future that you don't even know what your next steps are. So you should always have your goal broken down into smaller bits. So if one of your goals is to lose a certain amount of weight and you want to like get better at your nutrition, if you want to get better at your mental health, you want to get better at working out, you got to break all of those down. So maybe eventually you want to be working out 4 days a week, but right now you don't at all. You're going to have to start from where you are, right? So if you have that broken down, like, okay, this month we're focusing on just walking. Next month we're focusing on, driving to the gym, doing a little bit there. Next month we're focusing on this, right? You're going to have it broken down so that when you do have to think about what can I do today to bring me closer to my goal, at least you're not thinking about what do I have to do today to lose 20 pounds. You're not going to lose 20 pounds today. That is not going to happen. But if you've broken your goal down into small bits and you know that one of the things you're working on is just like being active today, if you're like, okay, how about I just go for a quick walk today? Or maybe you have more time today and more energy and you're like, you know what, I'm going to go for like a whole workout today. Or maybe you just have like barely any energy today and you're like, you know what, today I actually think the best thing for me is just to take a day of rest because my body genuinely needs it. And that is going to help me get towards my goal, right? It's going to depend on how you're feeling in the day, on what's going on in your life, on what your goals are, but really focusing on what is my best option today based on how I feel, based on where my brain is at, where my body's at, to get me closer to that goal. And it's not going to be the same every day. And that's totally okay.
Well, this is like you speaking on all of this is exactly why sometimes you need a coach. Because like when I was being coached by you, I had a goal of wanting to run, right? So currently I'm walking about 20 minutes a day, and I had a goal of running 40 minutes a day for 5 days a week. Okay. That's a pretty big stretch. Okay. So it's really helpful to have a coach come in and really help you break that down even further, because I think when you have these big goals, you want to take big steps. And sometimes you need someone who's going to support you and bringing it down back to earth and just being like, okay, like this is going to be smaller steps. It's going to take you a little bit longer, but you're actually going to be able to do the thing. Do you know what I mean? And that's why it's so important to have supports like coaches or whatever it is to really help you do that.
Yeah. And even like really good friends help in that too. Like again, with surrounding yourself with good people.
Yeah.
Is when you have those times when you are feeling really low and you're just focusing on the failures and you're like, oh my God, I'm so far away from my goal. And if you reach out to your support system, whether that's your coach or your close friends, and you're like, hey, this is what's going on. And they'll be like, but you're actually doing pretty well. Like, think about where you were when you started. Like, you're doing so much more than that. And I mean, maybe you're not like super close to where you want to be, but you're so much further than you were when you started. And just, we very much get in our own heads.
Yeah.
So easily. And as much as you know this stuff, as much as you know, like, okay, we got to focus on the positives. You know, if we come up with obstacles, we got to move past it. Like, as much as you know this stuff, like it still happens to both of us. We know all this stuff. We're coaches. We still get into these places, which is why most of the times coaches have coaches, because we know we need that external support, or at least we have, like, honestly, I think most of our friend group are very similar to us and are also coaches, because it's just like having that support system and having those people to reach out to just really like to really ground you and bring you back to reality and get out of your head to know like you're doing fine. You're doing amazing. Like, why you want to just surround yourself with good people who are going to help remind you of that and just help you feel your best. And again, sometimes you need other people to help you bring back up your confidence. I'm trying to make sure we're not going too off track, but like this all relates. Like all of this stuff is so, so important. Again, why there's so much focus in all of my programs in mindset. The way you think makes the biggest difference and the biggest impact on reaching your goals and seeing success in any area of your life, whether that's health or fitness or, you know, career or family or anything like that. The way you think about it makes the biggest difference overall.
Yes. Confidence is key.
100%. And you can build it. It is not something that is just innate.
Yeah.
There are so many things you can do, and you can have confidence in some areas of your life and not so much in others. And it's always something you can work on improving. Confidence is a mindset, right?
And if you've done it once, you can do it again, right? If you've been confident at one point in your life, you can be confident again. It's not like you're broken all of a sudden and you can't get back to that point.
Yeah. And you don't have to look a certain way to be confident. You don't have to have certain things to be confident. Anybody can learn confidence. It's all about the way you think, the way you show up for yourself, the actions you decide to take, not about how you look or the things that, you know, other people see or anything like that. It's very internal. Confidence is 100% internal, not reliant on what other people think. You can have nobody in the world like you and still be confident in yourself, right? Like, I'm pretty sure the people who that might be more of like a narcissism thing, but just saying, I'm sure everybody loves you anyways, but it's not required for confidence.
Exactly.
Okay. We had a lot to say on that one. I know we were like, oh, this one's going to be a short one, but.
And then it totally wasn't. It's just because I get so passionate about it. And I just it's like a spider web of ideas.
Totally. Same. Like there's so much to it, and it's so much more than people think it is. And whoever's listening to this, you're doing so much better than you think you are. Yeah. So take a moment to reflect on what you have done well, and how much further you are than you have been in other times in your life. It's always something good you can focus on.
Yeah. And confidence, just like a last thing, does not need to be superficial, right? It's confidence in that sense. That's not how we're speaking to it. Yeah. It's not this superficial confidence. It's this.
Yeah. It's belief in your own abilities.
Yeah.
And what you're capable of. Yes. So that is what we have for you guys today. I can't believe it's the last. I've been having so much fun doing these lives. We'll have to start doing these more. But, and then make sure you're like joining the podcast because we're going to be on there lots. But if you want more of this stuff, if you want to work with us, next week on Monday, we start the Results Guaranteed Bootcamp.
Yeah.
So get in there, go sign up. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to have more stuff like this and then actually like figuring out what this means for you. So not just listening to us teach you about it, but actually doing the work and figuring out what this means for you, applying it to your specific goals so that you know and have more confidence in your ability to reach that goal by doing all this stuff. So get in the bootcamp, go sign up. Links are everywhere, as always. And hopefully we will be seeing you guys on Monday. Thank you so much for listening in today. I'm so incredibly grateful that you took the time out of your day to listen and to support my podcast. If you're ready to feel the best you've ever felt, I would absolutely love to work with you. I have quite a few offers available, from nutrition audits to teaching you how to design your own workouts to group and private one-on-one coaching. Be sure to check out the link in the show notes or go to linktree/AlyDaws. So that's linktr.ee/ALYDAWS to see what I have available right now. I love chatting with you, so don't hesitate to email or reach out on Instagram if you have any questions whatsoever. Have an incredible week, my friend, and we will chat soon.